Right now at 6, a Missouri woman pleads guilty to the murder of her child's father.
And the rain falling across the area, some showers, a few thunderstorms out there. No severe weather, which is good news. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, an update on the progress of Miami's BF Goodrich cleanup and what comes next.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowe.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday. It is June the 12th, and it is a rainy June the 12th.
It sure is out there, yeah.
And again, another day below normal.
Right.
We saw a lot of those days in May. This month, maybe not nearly as many below normal, but today a below normal day. In fact, we knew it was going to be a little cooler.
Yes.
Clouds, rain. It's actually going to be a bit cooler than what we were even thinking yesterday.
Wow. Yeah.
So not too bad if you don't mind the rain too much. And the good news is, again, no severe weather with any of this activity. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. It is cloudy. It is a bit on the soggy side. And I think it's just all the rain and the kind of how soothing it is, because I could easily fall asleep right about now. You know how it is when you get a nice rain. It's a good light rain. You hear it on the roof. You hear it on your window. Nothing too crazy. Maybe some light rumbles of thunder. And it just lulls you to sleep. And I've probably put some of you back to sleep this morning. And then your boss is going to be calling you going, "Where are you?" Like, "Well, the weatherman put me to sleep." Well, it's a good day, though. If you are off today, great day for a good nap. You know, open the curtains, let that rain hit there. It's a beautiful day for that, at least, because again, no severe weather expected, no major thunderstorm threats, no big concerns. It is just a good rain, and you can see on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, it is just about everywhere. There are pauses here and there. We had some heavier showers around the Monette area. Some we're getting ready to work into Craig County. Coming up, the Will Rogers Turnpike, a few more moderate showers. All this activity lifting almost due north thanks to a low pressure system. It's going to continue to push it off to the north. That low pressure over the next couple of days will lift north, and then it will turn and start to sink a little further back south and east. Between 11 a.m. and about 3 p.m., we're looking at the possibility of the gaps we're seeing right now in Oklahoma and parts of southeast Kansas could be a little bigger for a couple of hours this afternoon, by late morning, early this afternoon, and then that gap will get closed back up with additional showers and thunderstorms out there. The only concerns we really have is some of these storms could occasionally produce some heavy downpours, which could ultimately result in some localized flash flooding. So do keep that in mind, especially, again, if you know your route that you take from here to there or there to here or wherever it may be is prone to flash flooding. Just be prepared for that possibility over the next couple of days. Temperatures mild, 66 in Joplin, 67 in Pittsburgh and around the region. Temperatures, again, they are not bad. We're into the upper 60s, just about every last one of us, mid to upper 60s. So, again, a fairly mild start for us on our Thursday, but, again, a bit on the wet side. All right, upper 60s continue through about 9. Thanks to the rain, warming up doesn't take fat. We don't heat up like we did the last couple of days. Low mid 70s by noon, upper 70s into the afternoon. It's where our highs are headed into the upper 70s, mid 70s by 6. And again, the rain chances may briefly drop off before they start to pick up again. And non-thunderstorm winds out there, occasionally gusting out of the southeast upwards of 20. The rain continues today, tonight, tomorrow. And what happens heading into the weekend and next week? Well, we've got the answers for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Excuse me. Well, a woman who authorities say went on a January shooting spree across 2 states, killing 2 people, is sentenced. Taylor Santiago pleaded guilty to charges in Missouri related to the murder of her child's father. Those charges include first-degree murder, which she will receive life without the possibility of parole. She also pled guilty to first-degree robbery, unlawful use of a weapon, and child endangerment. Investigators say Santiago lured her child's father to her home in Aurora, Missouri. There she ambushed, shot, and killed him. They say Santiago then took his vehicle, leaving her child with the deceased father at her home, and traveled to Carroll County, Arkansas, where she shot the father of one of her other children and his girlfriend. The girlfriend died. Investigators say Santiago then returned to Missouri, where she turned herself in to Aurora police and confessed to the crimes. Santiago still faces charges in Arkansas for capital murder and attempted capital murder. Firefighters battled a blaze in Joplin at 7:30 a.m. yesterday morning at Messenger Towers. According to first responders, the fire was on the 11th floor and started in a stove, damaging the interior of the kitchen. Residents on the 11th floor were evacuated. Some other floors were evacuated as well, but most residents in the building sheltered in place. There were no injuries, but due to the heat, some residents received care at the scene. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Well, after decades of waiting, hope for a cleaner community takes center stage in Miami, Oklahoma. Residents of Ottawa County gathered at the Miami Public Library yesterday evening to discuss the ongoing remediation and chemical cleanup permit needed for the former BF Goodrich plant. The plant permanently closed in 1986. It sat vacant for nearly 3 decades before its demolition in 2014. BF Goodrich was once Ottawa County's largest employer with 1,900 workers. The company made large tires for farm equipment and off-road vehicles. The cleanup started in March of 2023 and has faced challenges due to decades of pollution at the site.
The main chemical they're looking at is benzene. Benzene is a carcinogen. We've known that for decades. Cleaning up this benzene has only happened in the last 2 years. That's a long time to wait.
The Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality hosted last night's meeting, offering community members a chance to ask questions and voice concerns. The new permit will allow Geosyntech Consults to operate a remediation system to clean harmful organic compounds and hazardous air pollutants from both the soil and groundwater at the former BF Goodrich facility. Now, it sets emission limits, requires use of activated carbon filters for pollution control, mandates regular monitoring and reporting, and allows operation year-round except during winter freeze conditions. Residents across Missouri are receiving their property value assessments, and in Jasper County, homeowners are seeing those values go up. The State Tax Commission is requiring bigger assessment increases this year, averaging between 13 to 15% in Jasper County. This is because the county, like dozens of others, is out of compliance with the state. That means the county's appraised value isn't as close to actual market value as required. The county assessor says the changes are connected to the COVID-19 pandemic, which impacted property values across the state.
Back when COVID hit, unfortunately, the market went crazy, and we as assessors chose not to chase the market thinking that it would turn itself around, and in fact it did not.
If you would like to appeal your evaluation, you have until June 23rd to reach out to the county assessor's office for an informal hearing. Well, former Missouri State Representative Cody Smith was honored with the Richard A. Webster Medallion yesterday at Missouri Southern State University. Smith receives this honor because of his efforts to improve the MSSU campus while working in the Missouri House of Representatives.
Kind things that folks have said about me today, I really take to heart and appreciate very much. And I'm just honored to be on this kind of, like you say, a short list of folks that have received this award, and folks like Ron Richard and Gary Nodler that are on that short list. It's an honor to be on that list and share it with them.
Cody Smith served Missouri District 163 during his time as a state representative. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes, coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Nationwide protests erupt over immigration raids as many protests ended with arrests for violence against law officers. And we're tracking rain chances for today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, topping Nation Watch this morning, protests are now erupting in cities across the nation as Americans angry at recent immigration raids take to the streets. Many demonstrations have ended in arrest, with some violence against law enforcement, and more protests are planned for the coming weekend. Naomi Ruckham shows us where the tensions are running high as the White House promises the raids will continue.
A second night of curfew was enforced in downtown LA Wednesday after local authorities announced more than a dozen people have been charged with crimes related to recent protests.
We will know who you are, who engaged in this conduct. We will track you down. We will arrest you.
This as the standoff between President Donald Trump and California Governor Gavin Newsom intensifies after President Trump deployed the National Guard and hundreds of Marines to the state. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass accused the Trump administration of trying to cause fear and panic.
This was provoked by the White House. The reason why, we don't know.
Protests have now emerged beyond Los Angeles.
I want a lawyer!
Tucson, Arizona, San Antonio, and Austin, Texas are among the cities where the situation grew tense between protesters and law enforcement. Many say they are simply exercising their right to peacefully protest.
Immigrants have contributed so much to this country, and for them to be vilified as people that just take from the country is unfair.
And though some members of the president's own party have said the raids have gone too far, the administration is not backing down.
The Trump administration is going to continue the mass deportation effort that the president promised the American public.
This ahead of large coordinated protests planned for cities across the country on Saturday.
Well, later today, a federal judge is set to hold a hearing over Governor Newsom's request to block the Trump administration from using federal troops. In New York, law enforcement is watching the situation closely after protests outside federal immigration courts led to clashes with police. Dozens have been arrested over the last 2 nights. ICE tactical teams are now heading to 5 Democratic cities, including Chicago. And still to come, a new blood pressure tool could help patients with certain medical conditions. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Thursday forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Well, this summer marks the 50th anniversary of the iconic film Jaws. And a Rhode Island man's passion project related to the thriller is gaining a big following, as Sam Reed reports.
Back behind a neighborhood in Bristol, Louis Sozed works with wood.
I really enjoy being here, and it's peaceful. None of the machines talk back to me or give me a hard time or anything like that.
For as long as he can remember, he's had a love of lumber. And that, coupled with his boat building and repairing skills, have made for a fun career.
My father was a commercial fisherman. We had to work on those wooden boats, and we did all kinds of things to them.
Aside from his boat business, he started a project of his own about a year ago.
And I'm attracted to larger projects.
And when he says large projects, he means it literally.
This boat is going to be 40 feet long, it's going to be 13 and a half feet wide.
But in this case, he won't need a bigger boat because he's building a replica of the iconic one from Jaws.
Orca is probably, if not the most well-known wooden boat in the world. It's awful close.
June 20th marks the 50th anniversary of the film that garnered millions of fans from around the world.
Jaws was such a popular movie.
And with a great appreciation for the Steven Spielberg movie and a way with wood, he's been building his own Orca to be one and the same.
So I've stolen everything that I could steal from pictures and different things, but I have a background in these boats.
With so much knowledge and a skill set that separates him from others, Louis has quite the following online.
It came on late in life, and I discovered YouTube. Finishing up the center line on Orca.
His YouTube channel, Tips from a Shipwright, has nearly 200,000 followers and counting.
All kinds of people call me about repair projects and different things. And a lot of that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't opened a YouTube page.
At the age of 76,
I will never retire.
He's been asked a lot about his future plans.
I'm a virtual teenager is what I am.
But just like the classic film he's been inspired by, he too is a classic.
I need a real attractive project, and I think this is it.
And as his Orca is in the works, when all is said and done, it'll be jaw-dropping and hopefully hit the water.
Many people can't believe it, and won't believe it until they see it.
Again, you can follow his progress on the YouTube channel, Tips from a Shipwright. Very cool. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at the forecast.
And we've got those rain chances continuing. Now, thankfully, not heavy rain, so you don't necessarily need a boat to get to work. But rain continues into Friday. The details in your full forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:22 now. On this Thursday morning, we are starting with the Skywatch Storm Tracker because we do have some scattered showers and even again a few rumbles of thunder out there. So the good news is, as I've mentioned, no severe weather is expected. But what we do want to do is, if this will work, is we want to zoom in just a bit. And since I'm right here right now, we might as well do it the old-fashioned way, the new old-fashioned way. So we're going to start our little radar tour here into southeastern Kansas. Come on now, go away. There we are. So Garnett, Burlington, we're out of the rain. You're back in it. Mound City, Fort Scott, Iola, Yates Center, Eureka, parts of Greenwood County, kind of staying out of the rain, and it didn't go back to the other. That's why I don't like doing that. We've got otherwise some showers, Chinook, Fredonia, Erie, back down toward Parsons as well. We've got some showers, and again, some of the thunderstorm activity we're seeing. We're not seeing anything that is severe. There we go. That'll take care of that problem. But we could get some heavy rain at times that could lead to some localized flash flooding. And we've got the rain. Again, see these breaks, Independence, Coffeyville, Sedan, around Howard, back through here, south of Fredonia. We're looking at a possibility of seeing those breaks get a little larger as we head into, say, between 11 a.m. and about 2 p.m., and then they'll kind of start to close back up. So if it does stop raining on you for a while, don't think that it's over just yet. We just might get some heavier breaks, bigger breaks in the rain. Fort Scott, Nevada, Sheldon, Lamar, Jasper, Carthage, and you go east of that point. Kind of getting the idea here with these showers and some of the thunderstorms. Stockton, Greenfield, back down into Berry and Lawrence counties. Joplin, you've got a little break on the way. Neosho, you're kind of in between. Mount Vernon, some heavier showers. Monette, got some clearing, at least some brief clearing back behind you. Cassville, same situation. Miami, again, in between. We've got a few more showers tracking back down toward Veneta. So here's what we've got on the broader view. All this activity lifting to the north. It's due to a low pressure system that the other day was down into Texas. It's going to continue to push to the north, and it's going to reach a point in which it will start to turn around and go back to the south and east. That's what's going to give us our rain chances between today and tomorrow. So here's the future track into noon. Again, could get some bigger gaps briefly in between the showers and storms, and they'll start to pick back up in coverage again. And the other thing we have is, again, the heavy rain with some of these storms could lead to some localized flash flooding concerns. So keep that in mind if you're traveling today, whether it's to from work or the store, wherever it may be. Watch out for the possibility of some flash flooding with some heavier rain. Shower storms, we get another little break late this evening into very early Friday morning, so say between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m., and then we'll have another round of more widespread showers and storms. You saw all that came lifting to the north. It's spiraling around the low, and then it starts going back to the south and east. Now the rain was moving from south to north. By tomorrow, it's now moving from northwest to southeast, following that low pressure system. And as we head into Friday, late afternoon, evening, skies should eventually begin to clear. We're looking to be mostly cloudy again on our Saturday, and we do have an opportunity. While it's not showing up on the future track, we could get a strong or low-grade severe storm in our western counties Saturday. Now, the reason it's not showing up on future track is still some question as to how long the storms are going to hold. What happens is by Saturday, we get some thunderstorms out to our west, and a couple of them might try and clip the area by late Saturday, but it's a kind of an iffy situation. If they did clip us, again, level 1 out of 5 risk, a strong or low-grade severe storm, but it's a very low chance, so we'll keep an eye on it for you. Rain, again, you're going to get a brief break here in Joplin before too much longer. Upper 60s to start, low 70s by 11 with those scattered storms continuing across the area. Highs today, cooler, upper 70s, so well below normal. Same tomorrow, but a little warmer. And again, breezy, southeast winds occasionally gusting to 20. Get random isolated pop-up storms Saturday, Sunday. Temperatures climbing, and they will continue to do so as we roll into next week. Now we're pushing into the low to mid 90s. That's Check Your Forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, a new way to measure a person's blood pressure could help the thousands of patients who can't have their own pressure taken on their arm, according to a study published in BMJ Open. Researchers looked at data from more than 33,000 people and developed an online calculator to better interpret blood pressure measurements from ankle readings. Now, they say this could be a useful tool for people who are unable to have their pressure taken at the arm because of certain medical conditions. Well, new research in the journal Neurology finds stroke, dementia, and depression are more common in people with a specific biomarker of aging. But the Harvard Medical School researchers say a healthy lifestyle may modify the effects. The association was not found in people who had healthy habits such as eating right and keeping cholesterol and blood pressure in check. And a troubling trend, deaths from alcohol-associated liver disease increased significantly across demographic groups, but particularly for women and younger adults. Researchers say the findings in JAMA Network Open underscore the urgent need for public health interventions, especially given the increases seen in alcohol consumption following the COVID-19 pandemic. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 6:30, a new aviation program takes off from a college in southwest Missouri.
And we've got cloudy skies, rain falling for some of us, rain continuing across the area today. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, we find out the secret behind more than 90 years of business for a Lamar Theater.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6:31. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Thursday, June the 12th.
Sure
and
is,
it
yes.
is a rainy June the 12th out there. A little bit on the soggy side.
know.
We've had a lot of rain here lately. And I know in the last couple of years we had extreme drought conditions across the area. Those
Yes.
have been pretty well erased
Certainly
across
have,
the
yeah.
area. But now we're at that point we're getting a little too much
I
rain.
know. A little sick of it. Yeah. At least nothing's bad, nothing
Yes,
bad today on the radar.
Yeah, that's some good news. Is no severe weather is expected with this activity today or tomorrow. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and there it is. And see some rain splotches on the camera. We've got wet roadways. We've got rain falling. The same from MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Now, right now, Joplin, you're starting to enter a bit of a break. That's the thing. That's the whole point of scattered showers and storms, is they're going to be scattered in nature. You see, we've got Independence, Coffeyville, for example, stretching down to Newata, dry, but your neighbors not far away are getting wet here. Grove, you're dry for now, and then more rain on the way, say Mack County, parts of southern Berry County. So you got to get the idea. That's the whole concept with scattered showers and storms. Got a low pressure system tracking up north. That's why the rain for now is coming from the south to the north. But as we go through the next couple of days, eventually that low pressure gets a little further north and then retreats back to the southeast, and we'll start to take these shower and thunderstorm chances with it. Again, between about 11 a.m. and let's say 2 p.m. could get some bigger gaps in the showers and storms, so there might be, it's still going to be raining, but we might have bigger breaks out there before they pick back up and thicken back up with more shower storms filling back in by this afternoon and evening. The only concerns we really have with our thunderstorm chances today and into tomorrow is going to be the possibility of some heavy rain that could lead to some localized flash flooding. That's the main concern at this point, is if you get under one of those storms that just dumps a bucket of rain on you all of a sudden. So again, if you know the area you're in or the route you take, whatever the case may be, is prone to flash flooding, just make sure you're aware of that, and you got a backup plan just in case you get caught under one of those heavier showers or storms. We're at 66 in Joplin right now, 67 in Pittsburgh. So a mild start to the day, but temperatures won't move much into the afternoon. Stockton at this point looks to still be the warm spot at 69. The rest of us still upper 60s across the area. By about 9, we're still upper 60s. Noon, we're in the low to mid 70s. By the afternoon, upper 70s, and that's where our highs are headed today. Again, slightly lower rain chances in that zone before they'll pick back up again this evening. And occasionally, the southeast winds out there could gust to 20 miles an hour. Rain again continues today, tonight, and into tomorrow. Does it continue into the weekend, though? We'll have the answers for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Thanks. Well, after the rains, there is a lot of debris in Grand Lake, but as of right now, Thunder on the Riverboats races are still scheduled for this coming Saturday and Sunday. It's part of the Grand Summer Festival, now in its 7th year at Wolf Creek on Grand Lake. Crews are working to get everything set up and going.
Started as a trop rock event, and it has ended up being, it's just kind of evolved, and it is now like 80s, red dirt, a little bit of everything music. We've got 6 great bands Friday and Saturday night.
Shows in the Grand will start today with boat race practice. Well, Special Olympics Kansas hosts a luau cookout, bringing 6 of the Pittsburgh teams together to mark the end of the sports season. Yesterday's luau took place at New Hope Services in an effort to showcase their facilities. The athletes joined together for an outdoor lunch and participated in games such as cornhole and kickball. It was an opportunity for the athletes to strengthen bonds across agencies.
A lot of our athletes know each other from the different agencies, but they don't have a lot of opportunity to further their friendships and kind of get to know each other at more of a consistent level. So this is really important to have that social, inclusive setting where they can all just hang out and it's not centered around competition.
The Southeast region hosted 23 events last year, and they are set to roll into bowling in around 2 months. Lamar Plaza Theater is lighting up this summer once again. Since 1934, it's been more than just a place to catch a show. Some community members say it's been a resilient heartbeat of the community, surviving the test of time. And this year, attendance is on the rise. So what's the secret behind its lasting charm?
They love the movies, the snacks, the popcorn. They like it all.
I just started following the owner, Butler Phelps, around when I was like 6, 7 years old, and it just stuck with me ever since.
So thankful that they sponsor it and let us come for free. And the kids, this is their favorite day of the year by far in summer school.
It is free to attend the theater. You can donate, however. Area businesses help fund the building. A new program at Ozarks Tech is now ready for takeoff. Yesterday afternoon, college and community leaders cut the ribbon on the Roy Blunt Aviation Training Center. It's near the old Springfield Airport Terminal. The facility will house Ozark Tech's airframe and power plant program. Students will learn how to maintain and repair aircraft to FAA standards, clearing the way for a career in the aviation industry. College administrators say the new program will be a big lift to the region.
This is a huge deal for the college, but it's even a bigger deal for our community as we have become a transportation hub through aviation training, of course the airport, and now airframe and power plant and maintenance. It's really big for the community because it's going to mean ultimately more jobs in the community, well-paying jobs, and it will also help the airport grow.
Ozarks Tech leaders say this is the only program of its kind within 100 miles of Springfield. It'll feature hands-on training opportunities and an 11,000 square foot hangar. The project was paid for with funds from federal, state, county, and city sources. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump announces a new U.S. and China trade deal, but final approval is still pending. Plus, Starbucks is testing a new protein-packed drink. We'll have the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. In Consumer Watch this morning, swipe or tap. Well, more parents are getting a head start on establishing their children's credit ratings. National Consumer Correspondent Ashar Kareri is with what parents need to know.
Are you done shopping?
I want more shopping.
You want more shopping?
Shannon Ho may be playing pretend with 2-year-old Aria and 1-year-old Gemma, but the lessons this mom is teaching are real.
She likes to buy Cheerios with her credit card. Cheerios and what else? Water bottles. Fiji water bottles. That's it.
Also real are the credit cards. As babies, Aria and Gemma have 2 cards each.
I figured, why not? My parents did it for me when I was a kid, so I did the same for my girls.
She and husband Jeremy added both daughters as authorized users on their existing card accounts.
My 1-year-old has no idea what's going on. My 2-year-old, however, I do take her to Target every week to buy her cheese crackers and her snacks, and she picks 2 items, any 2, and she gets to pay. She taps and pay, and we check out and leave.
Right.
5 shoes, 5 pairs for me? Okay, I'm ready.
With each tap, Aria is building a credit history, which will help determine her future credit score.
There's really no too early. The earlier, the better, right?
Financial advisor Winnie Sun says many banks, including Capital One, Bank of America, and Chase, allow kids to be authorized card users as long as they have a social security number.
Why is it so important
to have a good credit score?
This is sort of your financial GPA. If you have a good one, that enables you better rates on your mortgage, better rates on your car loan. Maybe that apartment you're looking to rent is going to be advantageous to have something more attractive. And most importantly, a lot of employers are actually looking for a high credit score in order to give you that next job too.
What was their first word? Mama, data, or credit card?
Mama.
Mama! Not credit card?
Not credit card.
Shannon says with every tap, the kids are securing their financial futures
Can you tap? Oh, good job.
and learning the value of a dollar.
It's a habit we build from a young age to spend only what you are given or what you can afford and nothing more.
If you decide to get an early start, pay your bill in full on time every month to avoid passing down a negative credit score. And pay special attention to monitoring your bill to make sure there are no unauthorized purchases. Usher Qureshi, CBS News.
Well, President Trump says the U.S. trade deal with China is done. He offered a few key details of a framework deal reached between senior U.S. and Chinese trade representatives in London. But the president acknowledged that he and Chinese President Xi Jinping were both yet to formally sign off on the agreement. Well, consumer prices rose by 2.4% last month, while egg prices fell in May. Government data shows the price for a dozen grade A large eggs dropped 11% to just below $5. Egg prices had been surging in recent months due in part to an outbreak of avian flu. It is the second month in a row egg prices have declined. And Starbucks is testing a new menu item that will give people a protein boost with their morning Java. A Starbucks spokesperson said that the coffee chain is piloting a new protein cold foam at certain locations across the U.S. The foam is banana flavored and served over an iced latte. That's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Here's Chris with a quick look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got, again, those scattered shower storms out there. Some breaks here and there, and we'll have additional showers and storms through the day. We'll have a complete look at your forecast and birthdays and anniversaries right after this. All right, time for some Thursday birthdays in the 4 states. Starting with Nicholas McCoy, celebrating birthday number 8. Says happy birthday with love from Mom and Dad.
And a happy 12th birthday to Raleigh Blue Fincher, it says from Grandpa and Grandma Smith. Happy birthday.
And in Chanute, Elena Harding celebrating birthday number 39 today. Happy birthday.
And also in Chanute, a happy 60th birthday to Susan Ellis.
And heading over to Weir, Don Watson celebrating birthday number 80 with love from your family. Happy birthday.
Back over in Chanute, a happy 89th birthday to Marge McLaren.
And in Frontenac, Dustin and Tina Ashmore celebrating their 4th year of wedded bliss. Very happy anniversary to the Ashmores.
And a happy birthday to Dixie Layson in Columbus.
And we've got Cord Mays celebrating a birthday today. Says happy birthday from your Office Davis Real Estate.
And back in Columbus, a happy birthday to Carl Mabe.
And we continue our list with Tom and Patricia Christie celebrating their 54th wedding anniversary.
And celebrating their 60th anniversary in Pittsburgh. Happy anniversary to Larry and Linda Coltrane.
All right, another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. Not as many messages, though, and of course, we do love sharing those messages. And if you've got a message you'd like to share with your loved ones for their special day, Elise, what should they do?
Yes, please submit your birthdays and your anniversaries to birthdays@KOAMNewsNow.com. As Chris mentioned, be sure to include those wonderful messages along with photos and all the other wonderful information. Also, to meet the deadline at the bottom of your screen as well.
Very important information, and I've got some very important information for you from the weather department. We're going to start here with the Skywatch Storm Tracker. We've got showers out there. We've had some rumbles of thunder from time to time as well, but again, nothing strong or severe, nor is anything strong or severe expected across the area. But you can see we're getting these gaps, and some of these gaps may actually continue through the morning into the very early afternoon. So that means that some of you might dry out momentarily, maybe even for a couple hours before more showers and storms roll in later today. All right, so Eureka, it's missing you just to the east. Yates Center, Burlington, Gardner, Mound City, Fort Scott, Iola, Chanute. Get the idea. We got rain all over. Rain all along 69 from up north all the way down toward Miami. But then, take a look, parts of Labette County, Montgomery County, Chautauqua County getting dried out there, Fredonia, rain to your north, Howard, rain to your south. Northeast Oklahoma also with some gaps out there as well. So Nowata, you're dry. Bartlesville, rain around you but not with you. Same in Grove. It's on its way though. Rainy in Jay. Neosho, you're getting a little break. Cassville as well. Monette, you're up next for a little pause. And like I said, some of these pauses could last a little bit, but don't let it fool you. Don't get ready to get out there and start planning outdoor things because it will rain again as we head into the afternoon. All this again lifting from south to north, associated with a low pressure system. It was over Texas yesterday. It's made its way up this way. And that low pressure will continue to lift north. And then as we head into our Friday, it will turn off to the south and east and turn kind of almost back around. So you could see the way that this system's moving on the future track through the afternoon. You see we've got the rain. Here we are at noon. We see it lifting from south to north. Now our main concern is going to be thunderstorms with possible heavy rainfall or heavy downpours in those storms. And that could lead to some localized flash flooding concerns. That's going to be our biggest concern with the storms today, tonight, and into our Friday is just going to be the possibility of some localized flash flooding. So do keep that in mind. But the low pressure flow around it, of course, counterclockwise. You can see the wind arrows out there. They begin to shift as that low pressure system itself will begin to shift as we head overnight. And now you see that spin. So now it's tracking from west to east. So it begins to make its turn. So it's coming up from the south, coming to the north. Now it's starting to turn back to the east. So by tomorrow morning, still showers, thunderstorms scattered across the area. You've got that flow with the rain around it. And you also see it almost like a hurricane as it just kind of pushes away to the south and east as that low takes the rain with it as we head into Friday afternoon and evening. Should dry out by late Friday. Saturday is an interesting one. As you can see, we've got clouds. We got an isolated shower chance here or there. Not much outside of that. However, as we roll into Saturday, we do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for our far western counties for maybe a strong or low-grade severe thunderstorm. So you saw on the future track, it's not showing up on there in terms of any kind of thunderstorm activity Saturday. But here's what we've got. Thunderstorms develop out to our west Saturday. Some of them might survive long enough to get close enough that we could get a strong or low-grade severe storm, but it is a very big if. So this risk area is highly dependent on whether or not these storms actually are able to hold their own as they get closer late Saturday. So it is something over, again, the next couple of days we're going to keep an eye on for you. And that's really the only risk we have is a possible risk as we roll into Saturday. All right, cloudy in Joplin right now. Some light rain out there. Scattered showers, storms continuing through the morning. Upper 60s by 8 into the low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. And we could have southeast winds occasionally gusting upwards of about 20 miles an hour or so. So keep that in mind as well. We're having another look at your forecast, plus the news you need to know here in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or if you're streaming with us here on KOAM Plus, you just stay with us. We're going to tell you about some kids that are playing sports that can provide more than physical activity, and it can also make them better people.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Firefighters battle a blaze in Joplin at 7:30 a.m. yesterday morning at Messenger Towers. According to first responders, the fire was on the 11th floor and started in a stove, damaging the interior of the kitchen. There were no injuries, but due to the heat, some residents received care at the scene. Taylor Santiago pleads guilty to charges in Missouri related to the murder of her child's father. Those charges include first-degree and first-degree robbery, unlawful use of a weapon, and child endangerment. Investigators say Santiago shot 3 people, killing 2 between Missouri and Arkansas. Santiago still faces charges in Arkansas for capital murder and attempted capital murder. And residents of Ottawa County gathered at the Miami Public Library yesterday evening to discuss the ongoing remediation and chemical cleanup permit needed for the former B.F. Goodrich plant. Cleanup has faced challenges due to decades of pollution at the site. The new permit will allow geosyntic consultants to operate a remediation system for both the soil and groundwater. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
And we've got scattered showers, thunderstorms through the day today. Some of you guys might get pauses, but don't let it fool you. We're not going to be done with the rain that quickly. Upper 70s, so a bit cooler southeast winds, occasionally gusting up to 20. And again, an emphasis on two things. One, we're not anticipating any severe weather with the activity today or tomorrow. Two, some of the thunderstorms could produce some heavy downpours that could lead to some localized flash flooding concerns. So do keep that in mind, especially if you know wherever you're at, wherever you're going is prone to flash flooding. Storms continue through the evening, overnight, back down into the mid-60s. More showers and storms for our Friday. Start to wrap up late Friday. We're going to be a little warmer. And a few isolated pop-up storms Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, and by next week, boy, it is certainly going to start to feel like summertime as temperatures climb in the low 90s. Some of our southern and western counties could even reach the mid-90s next week, so get ready to stay hydrated.
Absolutely, yes. And coming up today at noon, we're making Parmesan potato wedges in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOM with CBS Mornings. A small West Virginia town is giving a reason for its young residents to stay. Coming up on CBS Mornings, Rebuilding America series, a look at the program that's helping workers find new opportunities.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Dustin Luno from the Joplin Fire Department joins us in the studio to talk about how you can keep yourself and your family safe from kitchen fires.
Plus, Melissa Little also joins us in the studio with an invitation to Food Truck Friday, and that is happening in Carthage. However, it's going to wrap it up for us for now. Of course, remember, stay dry, stay safe, and stay away from anything that's flooded.
Yes.
And we'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.